Okay, we're back. And I'm not going to make the mistake of putting this on Twitter and then saying that I'm going to play the game and then the game gets destroyed like it did last time. I'm just not going through it. I had to turn down the music all the way because in my ear it was like kind of really loud, but it's always good to like set it louder rather than quieter, obviously. Already the music is reminding me of Divinity Original Sin. That was like the first thing that popped in my head. I don't know if you've ever played that game, but it's fantastic. And I was just clicking around and looking at all the things. I said this in the Karamu thing, but I'm gonna have to repeat a lot of the stuff I said there since it doesn't exist anymore. I'm not bitter. Thank you for taking the time to try Actala. This project is a solo endeavor, so I do just about everything, including the character and background art, the programming and the writing. You're a gem. And I think the settings are good. I pretty much turned everything down just so I'm like, I can read just fine. The fact that there's a route map reminded me of fucking, God, what's that game? VLR. It was, not Danganronpa, but the other one. Zero Escape. It reminded me of Zero Escape. And I was like, ooh. Pretty much the setup is about the same as Karamu. I guess that's just like the Unity visual novel style. Or just your particular style. So I don't think there's anything else that I need to do now, so I can just start. Let's just start. And I'm going to try to take breaks in between the recordings so then that way it goes smoothly and I don't lose anything. So you'll probably get this in parts. Usually I don't like to do that. It would be nice to just kind of do it all in one sitting, but I'm not making that mistake again. So timer for like 15 minutes in my head. And good luck. Chapter 1, Happily Ever After. Which, that's already really creative because Happily Ever After is never chapter 1. It's usually the last chapter. I'm already like anticipating. I think I saw this in the screenshots on the page. Okay, my bad. Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a peaceful kingdom. For many years, the citizens lived in harmony. However, one day, this tranquility was shattered. Oh, cute. Nightmares, ink-black beasts of corruption and malice emerged from the earth. They invaded the towns and terrorized the people, spreading chaos in their wake. Wherever they went, they spread the blight, a poison that corrupted the land, suffocating the plants and animals. The kingdom attempted to fight back, but the attacks only became more ferocious. Oh, one day, a hero appeared. A man chosen by the gods to be the kingdom's savior. Possessing a near-immortal body and wielding an invincible sword, the hero vanquished the nightmares one after another. This is so dope. Like, maybe I'm just easily impressed. No, this is dope. Don't listen to that. When the people thought that hope was finally in sight, the king of the nightmares emerged, a massive dragon with countless heads, each bearing fangs dripping with deadly venom. And yet, even against such an insurmountable foe, the hero did not waver. He fought against the dragon for 3 days and 3 nights. And at the end of their battle, he descended upon his enemy, cleaving it in two with his blade like a bolt of lightning. The hero returned to the capital city, victorious, and the king rewarded him with glory and riches. With their ruler slain, the nightmares did not dare to attack the citizen again. And thus, with peace and harmony in the kingdom restored, everyone lived happily ever after. For now. Little miss, you're still here. You must have enjoyed the play. Yeah. I did, actually. I did. Such a tale of valor and such a perfect ending. I'm going to assume this is the protagonist. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. It is a perfect ending, isn't it? Fitting rewards for splendid deeds. But I heard that the tale of the hero's journey didn't end here. Ooh. In fact, the hero's troubles were only just beginning. That's such a fun beginning. I'm already sucked in. Were they hitting you again? Oh god, not the sad. Not the sad, yeah. I told them not to. The next time I find them, I'll beat their butts. Yeah, do it. Don't worry, I won't let it happen again. I'll protect you. Izu! Shizu, wake up! Are you alright? Okay, those were the childhood friends. I'm picking up on this, I'm seeing. Dude, what the fuck? This is so cool. Where are we? There's so many questions. I want to know everything. Are you alright? Uh, what happened? What happened? You got hit by the nightmare when it tried to dodge one of the Say's blows. I'm assuming that's how you say it. Smacked you all the way over here. It's a tough one, but we're on the final couple heads. You seem fine, but are you alright? Shizu looked down and her fingers fumbled over her torso. No blood or holes, she was in one piece. I'm okay. I restrained so hard from making a One Piece joke there. I'm okay, I shielded properly. You should get back into position. Shizu stood up on quivering knees, shaking off a bout of dizziness and nausea. Liam reached out and caught her by the elbow, steadying her. Got it. Okay, cutie. Liam gave her a cheeky grin before sprinting back to the black behemoth. The massive dragon stood nearly as high as the walls of the castle, pawing at its minuscule human assailants with claws the size of wagons. A dozen necks sprouted from its central body. However, 10 of them had been severed, leaving gaping black holes where their heads should have been. Streaks of white magic flowed down the necks like poison. The remaining 2 heads... Not the notification. 2 heads lurched at the nearby soldiers, spraying toxic fumes with every snap of their jaws. One unlucky swordsman lay on the ground, clutching his face. Ghastly red welts and purple sprouted underneath his fingertips. A head lunged in, aiming to finish off the man for good, but it recoiled after being hit by a spear of ice. Liam followed, shortly after, parrying the head's assault with his blade. With a wave of her arm, Shizu sent several rocks flying at the other head before it could snap Liam in two. This is so cool! And she's so cute! As the Hydra recovered from the attack, she looked around and found the golem that she had been using before. It was slumped over on its knees to one side, looking like an abandoned suit of armor fashioned from earth and stone. With a slightly trembling arm, Shizu channeled magic towards the golem. She managed to get the warrior back on its feet and sent it charging at the dragon's head. Barely any oil left in the reservoir. Fighting off the waves of dizziness and splitting headache, she squeezed out every last drop of magic that her body could muster. She alternated casting support spells and ranged spells as Liam and the golem occupied the remaining dragon heads. After a couple minutes, she caught the hand signals of one of the soldiers standing off to the side. He's in position, coming from above, got it. With a wave of her fingers, the golem retreated 2 steps backward. Oh! A figure hurtled down from above the Hydra, emanating white radiance. He struck before the head in one smooth motion, like a bolt of white lightning descending from the heavens. The severed head fell to the ground, where it disintegrated into clouds of black fumes. At first, the lonely neck flailed about before a pair of new protrusions began to sprout out. Before they had the chance to germinate, Shizu sent a blaze swirling across the burgeoning flesh, burning the heads off as they grew. Meanwhile, the figure that had descended from above landed on the ground and snapped around, leaping towards the squirming neck. He thrust his blade straight through the conflagration into the exposed flesh. Currents of pure white magic coursed through the nightmare's throat, pulsing and gleaming through the inky mass. The monster thrashed in agony, swinging the figure around like a rag doll. However, that's not funny. He clung to the hilt of his sword with both hands. Satisfied with that the heads would no longer grow, the figure planted both feet into the creature's flesh and extracted his blade before turning his attention to the last enemy. Liam had been occupying the final foe. He performed a treacherous waltz. Oh, nice. With the dragon, dodging its noxious fumes and parrying its dripping fangs while he waited for reinforcements. As soon as he saw that there was only one head left, Liam dropped both hands to the ground. 5 stalagmites of ice erupted from the earth, sparing the remaining head through the neck and jaw and trapping it in place. White lightning swept through the snared prey. It ripped its jaws and throat asunder, tearing straight through its chest and abdomen. The Hydra's body dropped to the ground and collapsed into the suffocating cloud of ash. In the mist, the onlookers glimpsed the glowing pale outline of the figure. The hero's vibrant blue eyes swept around as he verified that his enemy was completely annihilated. Satisfied, Sei straightened. His blade dissolved into a stream of white light that flowed back into its resting place on the back of his right hand. The dragon was dead. Jesus. Okay, let me just stop for 2 seconds to talk about that. Okay, that was really fucking cool. Like, and your writing, I said that a lot in Karamu, but again, gonna just have to repeat it, is that your writing usually eats. Like, a lot of the lines that, like, just, I'll sit there and go, ooh, I really like, you painted the picture, which this is like a storybook style VN, which is a really cool idea, and the fact that you can put it into practice is really awesome, like a pop-up book, but playable. And I just super enjoyed that. That was really fun and very visceral, and I could see it, you know, even without seeing it, and I think that's like super impressive and important. As the soldiers filed out of the cave, they squinted as they were hit by the pale glow of the rising sun. Their eyes had an gotten accustomed to the darkness after their long ordeal. Liam, Sei, and Shizu were some of the last to leave. Liam strode ahead, stretching one arm as he slung his sword back into his scabbard with the other. Sei and Shizu walked side by side as they conversed with a nearby medical officer. Did anyone else get hurt? Well, hello, Sei. There were no more serious injuries after the casualties yesterday. Sei let out a sigh of relief. Yeah, you did a good job, mister. Hero. Thanks. Everyone did a good job. Sei turned to Shizu. You're okay? You got hit. Yeah, I'm... She trailed off as she saw a young man approaching them at a brisk walk. He was wearing all white with the distinct feather cap of a royal messenger perched atop his head. The feather was slightly askew, as if he had hastily replaced it after dozing off. I come bearing a message from His Royal Highness. On behalf of the kingdom, His Highness would like to congratulate the Lord Hero for slaying the King of the Nightmares, the Phantom Hydra. The words sent a tumult through their surroundings. The Nightmare King? Then that means... Also, if you can hear my cat meowing in the background, she just does that, so... That was the Nightmare King? So it's over? So that means the journey is over. We can go home. They slayed the archdemon. Her heart, which had just started to slow after their long fight, quickened again. Shizu looked around. She was surrounded by expressions of cheer and sighs of relief. Phantom Hydra. The only blemish on the scene of elation was Liam's grim countenance. Shizu turned to the silent, dark-haired young man standing next to her. Sei, Her words were swallowed up by Sei's chest as he squeezed her tightly. Oh, it's over. It's finally over. Yeah, honestly, if they had to deal with that, like, on a daily basis, I would also be very relieved. Shizu reached her arms around his torso and hid her teary eyes against his chest. This long journey was finally over, except it wasn't. 8 years of hardship and bloodshed. 8 years spent fighting nightmares and other beasts of all shapes and sizes, casting spells until they were completely drained, stumbling in the dark, madly swinging their swords until they were dull and chipped. And in the morning she woke up, covered in bandages, aching all over. She looked over at the neighboring bed, and she breathed a sigh of relief. Everything was okay. Everything was still okay. She did it. He was still alive. He was still safe. He was still with her. Which one? Sei. After a few moments, there were simultaneously too long and too short. Sei let go, tossing his hair with one hand. He looked to the side, slightly embarrassed, before walking around Shizu. He approached Liam and waffled between going in for a handshake or a hug. Oh, that's so cute, when the other man nearly tackled him off his feet. That's strange. A few moments earlier, she had felt light enough that a gentle breeze would have swept her away into the clouds, and yet now her chest felt like it was being crushed underneath a giant stone. Interesting. This long 8-year journey was over. 8 years of being able to be by his side. It was all over. Thank you very much for trying out Actala. Would you like the basic tutorial? Of course! Here are some controls to help you get started. Automatically, yeah, we're not fucking with that. A lot of this was in Karamu too, so I think I can kind of just breeze past it. Deactivates the UI and dialogue. Toggles the log. The log brings up a history of lines. This button opens up the menu. Additional features. Exit. Fragments of the past. Access special scenes that unveil the character's past. Okay. Easily navigate the different parts in the story. You can save your progress here. You can load your progress here. Change the settings here. You can access various useful bits of information here, including maps, character profiles, and guides, like this one. As you play, you will hear about different places, noble houses, and other world-building elements. If you want additional information or need clarification, please refer to the archives. That's very helpful. Most of these features can be accessed via shortcut keys. Shortcuts can be viewed and rebound in the settings. If you are using a controller, which is dope, but no, please note that the game does not autosave if you quit from a standard screen, so please save or return to the main menu first to save your progress. Thanks for listening to this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the game. I'm pretty sure I will, but I'm probably going to do this in a separate part because, again, I'm not dealing with this again. I'm just not doing it.